All right, cool. So we could talk about since you're the only one here, we could talk about whatever questions you have. Um, we could just kind of talk about what I was planning on talking about anyway, which is figuring out whether or not to deal or not, which is a pretty quick one. So it's up to you.
Yeah, that sounds good. Also, you did one episode where you showed us how to find the owners, and I couldn't find I didn't take very good notes on it, and I tried to do it myself, and I was having a lot of trouble with it. So if we could go over that again too, I think that'd be helpful.
I didn't hear what you said. I did one that showed you how to find what?
So you did an episode where you were showing us how to find the owners of these houses.
Oh, find the owners. Okay.
And I was having a lot of trouble with that. So if we could go over that as
Where do you
well.
live? Where do you live at again?
Fayetteville.
Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yes.
Okay. So I think it'll be helpful if we just go straight to or try to find it. You have to bear with me though, because I've never tried to look for it in North Carolina. Okay, so let's do what county is that? What county is Fayetteville?
That is Cumberland County.
County, North Carolina, tax assessor.
So I was able to find who the owners were. I just couldn't find their other information, like what house they're living at, where their phone number is, stuff like that.
Okay. All right. So let's look at this first. Is this the right area? Which one do you normally go to?
I went to the top one.
Okay. So that's something called skip tracing. And so let me just show you what you're going to do here. Probably this, I'm assuming. Search property records. Is this what you normally do? Does it look like this?
Yeah, more or less. I have it bookmarked, so I can't remember. Oh, no, it was something else. I remember I tried this first. I wasn't getting a whole lot of information. So I found another way, but.
What's the address? Let's see what this one looks
like.
like.
I got a few. 1090 Progress Street.
This one right here?
Yep. Here, I could, I'm going to try to find because I have it bookmarked, I'll find the link that I used and put it in the chat so you could.
Okay. I just want to see, because normally the gist.
Okay, I found it. Copy.
Okay, I'll take a look at it. Want to know why you can't get it from here, though. Okay.
Did you right click on that?
No, I think it was, I think I just clicked on the actual, yeah. I just actually clicked on the property. So if you just click on the property, so it shows you, so you go here and you hit search and it's going to take you to this, right? Yeah. You just click on the property. Not on the, don't click on this thing. Can you see my screen, right? Yeah.
Yes, I can.
So don't click on this, right? Just click on the actual property. Like that. I don't know if you can see that. Let me zoom in some more. You see how I'm clicking on like what looks like.
Yeah, it's right outside of the red dot inside what looks like the lot itself.
Yeah, the house. Like you see how that's this is the shape of the house.
Yes.
So that's what I'm clicking on.
Okay.
So Jean Harriet Carter, 1100 Progress. for deed book, click here. Hold up. All right, so you see, and I almost missed this. So you see hold on. The address that you're looking for is 1090 Progress, right?
That's correct.
This one's 1100 Progress.
So yeah, I ran into that problem. Let me go get my other notebook. I have all of them written down along with the owners, and I'll give you one that actually worked. It'll take me like 10 seconds.
That's fine. I think this one works. I think it's just showing me what we need to see. Hey, Jonathan, are you there?
Well, I got a few more addresses we could try if you weren't able to find that one. Oh, there it is right there.
Was. So look, all right, so this is the 1090, right? And we
Yeah.
click on it, and it shows them that what? The person's name, Jean Harriet Carter, and where does she live at? 1100 Progress Street, right?
Okay.
So this is 1100 Progress Street. So you click on this one, your owner's right here. Your owner lives right next door to this property.
Oh, okay.
So she owns Jean, well, I guess that could be a male or female. They own this property here. So this property that you found, this one right here, this one's vacant.
Yes, it is.
Let's see. Look at this one. Pretty close name, right? Jean Harriet Carter. I'm not saying it exactly. I'm not saying for sure, but this one is Jean spelled this way, Leslie Carter. And this is where they live at.
Okay.
All right, that's somebody completely different, obviously. The reason why I'm looking, in my experience, like if you see stuff like that, sometimes, especially if they live on the street and you see that they own another property on the street, sometimes they try to buy up the whole block. So you find this one person, and sometimes you can kind of score, like they own this one too. It's a different block.
Yeah, I'm counting right now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 addresses on that street alone. So it was
7 addresses, but look at this. This is another Carter. The
another
reason why I say
Carter.
this, like, if you can do something like this, and treat them good, and they have a good response and a good experience with you, you might be able to do multiple deals with them. Because the Carters, look, and here's another one. They own the whole freaking block. So they own the land, some land. So basically from here all the way to here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plots the Carter family owns. And it might be more, who knows? You just have to keep clicking along. Actually, you could probably, let me see this. You could probably do this right here. I wonder if I can just click this link. I know in Georgia, you can, if it's blue, you can click the link and it'll pull up all the properties that they own. See what it does. Good gosh. No, that can't be all right. Wow, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is just under that Gene name. So they own more than what we thought. But is this the site that you normally were getting to?
Yeah, I found the majority of my houses all within that area.
No, I'm talking this website. This website that we're on right now. This new
Oh,
page.
yeah, that looks closer to what it was. Yeah, I'd go to real estate, that tab up there, type in the address, and then it'd bring up their information.
Okay, yeah. So this is it right here. Okay, that's pretty much what I just. Actually, I got this from this.
From here. Show more results.
I don't know why this popped up, but what was that? 1090.
1090 Progress Street.
So boom, we're there. We click on this, and I think I went to click here for tax information.
Okay.
I just go down, always at the bottom here. Click here for tax information, and it takes you right to it. Right, and then from here, you can see what I want to look at. I want to see, are they in tax trouble? Are they paying their taxes? So here it says click for tax sheet. I think it says it up here somewhere. Click for tax sheet. You see that right there?
Yes.
So either one, doesn't matter. One's going to take you to the same one. And here you can see they don't owe any taxes. They've paid their taxes.
Okay.
So if you can find one where it's vacant and they call it stacking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you get a list. You say, okay, here's all the list of abandoned properties. All right, so here's all the here's the list with abandoned properties and people who haven't paid taxes. And so here's a list with abandoned properties, haven't paid taxes, and got code violations. And the more that you can stack, the more problems you can find, the deeper the discount typically ends up being because they're in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yep.
So you're just trying to find how can you help them to get out of trouble. But yep, so those are those two. What other one you want to look up?
Let's see. 1034 Southern Avenue.
1034 Southern Avenue. Elise Jones. So all right, because I don't want to just keep telling you, what stands out about this right away?
The address is different, so that's telling you where they live.
Okay, that's perfect. So this property, you drove by this property, and why did you write this address down?
Because it appeared to be either vacant or really run down to where it was obvious. Usually it was obvious that there was nobody living in there.
Perfect. So if no one's living in there, because we can just visually see when we drive down the street, when we drive down Southern Avenue, and we say, oh, wow, this house looks empty. And then all of a sudden we look up, so we know no one's living in there, and we see that there's a different address. We know this automatically makes them a absentee owner. What's going on, Urja? How you doing? Um, so this makes them an absentee owner, okay? And because they're an absentee owner, again, remember we talked about stacking, right?
Yeah.
So absentee owner, that's a good reason for sell because this person is paying money on this house. They're paying insurance and they're paying taxes on it. And if it's vacant, if it's run down, that means they either have to spend more money so they can rent it, or just keep wasting money spending taxes and paying taxes and insurance on it. So our next thing is to find out what if they've been paying their taxes, right? So let's just see if they've been paying their taxes on this one. And we're going where for that? You remember?
Yeah, down towards the bottom of this page.
Bottom, or you could do this where it says
Or,
click for taxes.
yep,
Either
right
one.
there at the top.
So this one, boom, they owe $545.24 in taxes. You see that?
Yep.
Remember, absentee owner. Now we got taxes. What's going on? How you doing? So we got absentee owner, back taxes. We're stacking our list, right? This one would be a really good one to write down. Okay. Make sure you copy this down. I don't know how your joint is like in North Carolina. I don't know if you can figure out or find out code violations. But if you can find out whether or not code violations, then that would be, again, each one of these problems that you find, absentee owner, boom, back taxes, what you got here, boom, code violations, boom, you got that. Each one of those, I promise you, that's money in your pocket.
Okay.
Money in your pocket. Okay. So this one automatically is more important for me. If I'm weeding out which ones I'm doing, this one's more important than the last one that you did because they have money issues if they can't pay their taxes. Make sense?
Yes.
So, cool. So the next step for this one, for me, let's go back to property record info or property info. Next step for me is 2550 Muriel Drive, Fayetteville, North Carolina. If you really want to be a G, I go out there and just knock on the door.
Yeah.
If you want to spend some money and skip trace them, you can skip trace them and get their phone number, right? Matter of fact, I'm gonna hook you up. Let me see something. I'm gonna hook you up. So it's and let me I want to make sure I say your name right. I know I've been talking to you on the joint. Is it Jashay? Is that how you say it?
Jashay, yeah.
Jashay. Okay. How you doing? So I'm gonna hook you up right real quick, and I'm gonna skip trace this information for you. Jashay, if you have somebody you want to get skip trace, let me know. Since it's only two of you guys on the call.
I actually just got a call from them today. I missed the call though. I'm gonna call back tomorrow. How much is the TLO?
TLO you can't just pay for and get. TLO is TLO is what police departments use, bounty hunters use, credit agencies, they use them. And so you have to go through a process. And the way I got it because I went through someone who has access to it. And they put me on and they gave me the access to it.
Gotcha.
But they come to your house. Like if you're going to do it out of your house, they do an interview. They literally will come out to your house. They'll investigate who you are. They'll investigate your home. You have to have a locked room with a locked filing cabinet with the computer that's going to have access onto it. So there's a whole bunch of like regulations you gotta have because you're going to see here in a minute if it pulls up. We'll find out pretty much anything. So Erlise Jones. What address we rocking with? Oops. Let's see if we find Miss Elise Jones. All right. So as you can see here, if I wanted to do all that and get all her information, driver's license number, everything, we can see here, as of today, January 30th, 2019, she is recorded as being here. Building name is Jones Plumbing. I don't know. Subject phone number here. We can look for a telephone number. So this is 100%. That's a landline. The L means landline. M means mobile. So I would write down probably this number here and this number. And Jonathan, let me know when you guys don't have to be on mute because there's only two of you. It's not like this is a lot of noise.
Is first two you said right down?
Yeah, I try to stay in the 80s. What's going on, Cam? So I try to stay my hits in the 80s. This is close enough. I wish they had a mobile, but I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm actually surprised she's alive with a name like Elise. Normally, when you hear those older names, they're just not around. But 910-484-9403. I'd write that number down.
I got him.
That's 100%. So that's definitely the number. Just whether or not she's there or not. But you can see this. I mean, I could see possible relatives here. If I wanted to see what's going on, Latoya. If I wanted to see their family tree, who they're associated with, right? As you can see this, it can get very detailed, right? When it comes to TLO. But that's why it's just a good tool to have. If you can get you access to it. It also, as you can see, every time I click on something, it costs something. It costs money. I guess it's still calculating it, but yeah, it costs $1.80. If I was to click on any one of these extra things, it's going to charge me like $1.50 for every click that I put on there. So if you can find someone that's willing to give it to you and trust you with it, then cool, right? But if you don't, you can always go with you can go with Deal Machine. Deal Machine is a pretty good way of skip tracing. It's going to cost you $1 per skip.
Oh, really?
$1 per skip. $50. Let me make it clear. It's $50 a month for the membership, and then $1 per skip.
Oh, okay, gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah, $50 a month, and then $1 per skip. But if you're doing large, whose phone is that? Oh, that was Cam's. Cam's phone. We're gonna get you a phone, Cam. So if you get Deal Machine and you're only doing less than like 100 skip traces every single month, then cool. But if you don't, then you're gonna want to batch skip them. Okay. So we got some more people on now. And so I'm gonna stop sharing for a quick second here. I'm gonna put everybody on mute. So we can just know we have some people on here. We can actually, talk about what I had planned on talking about here. So you guys, if you're just getting on, we didn't really miss much. Jonathan had a personal question about an owner that he was looking for. And I just basically showed how you can kind of go into your county's website and locate people. And let me just show, Josh, you don't mind if we show the address, right?
No, I don't mind.
Jonathan, I keep calling you Josh because my brother's name is Josh. You don't mind, right? All right. So, all right, so this is called a GIS system. Most states have them. Geographical Information System is what it stands for. So basically you just put in an address and it will pop up where, whatever address it is, and it'll show you the plot lines, the property lines, right? So here you can see this address that we typed in here, and you could try to do this on most states have this. You click on it, it'll show you who the owner is. Miss Erlise Jones is the owner. And the key thing I want you guys to recognize, I want you to picture yourself driving your car, driving for dollars down Southern Avenue, and then you stop right here in front of this house, because you recognize this house is vacant. You see this house is vacant. No one's living in it because the windows are busted out. The grass is all growing out. It's just an ugly house. And so now we get to take a look at this house and figure out who the owner is, because I will need to get in contact with this owner. So when you do this, when you hop on the system, no matter what state you're in, you can find out, typically the person who is paying the taxes is the homeowner. So this address right here of 2550 Miro Drive, Fayetteville, North Carolina, is obviously different than 1034 Southern Avenue, which is the house we're parked in front of. So we know that Miss Erlise Jones does not live here. She probably lives here. Why is that important? Is because in order for me to buy Mrs. Erlise Jones's house, I have to get in contact with her. And the only way I get in contact with her is doing this. So I can find out where she lives at. And then a very important thing is we want to, like I was telling Jonathan, it's called stacking. So the more problems I can find, the more money in my pocket is typically the way it works. The more problems I can find, the easier it is for me to negotiate the deal. So if right now it's absentee owner, so we're here, okay? Now if there's back taxes, we're stacking on top of that. So that's better than just being an absentee owner. We can find code violations. That's better than just taxes and just absentee owner, because now we have code violations. And we just keep finding stuff, keep finding liens, we keep finding things, all those things, all that pressure from that person, they need to get alleviated of that pressure, and we are the way to do that. So one of the things we want to check to see is if they owe taxes on the property. Now your state might look different than this. You just got to kind of play around it until you find it. But once you get here, me and Jonathan, just within maybe 2-3 minutes of being on the website, we were able to find and locate the tax sheet. And what we found here is that this particular property owes $545.25. Everybody see that there? That $545.24 is owed in back taxes for the year of 2018, which could indicate that Ms. Erlise Jones is having some financial difficulty. Number one, the property is vacant. And number two, the property has back taxes, which she has to pay. So she's not earning any income from her property. And she owes back taxes, which eventually, if she doesn't pay, will go to auction and someone will be able to buy her house for $545 plus all the other fees that they charge. And she's paying interest. Hopefully she has insurance on the house. So she might be paying even more than this. So this is a problem for Miss Erlise Jones, and we want to help her solve that problem by locating her. All right. So that's kind of where we left off at when you guys hopped on. But now I want to show you, let me see. Here's another thing that you can do on the property sheet. The county will tell you what they have appraised the property for. Well, maybe it's on the tax sheet. Sorry. Should be on the tax sheet now that I think about it. So you're going to have a land. All right. So a lot of people don't notice when you buy a home, all right, you're really not buying the home. You're buying the land. Okay. You're buying the land that the house is sitting on, and the home is an extra. The home is an improvement, is the term that we use. So you're buying the land and all the improvements on the land. So a lot of times I guess they don't here, but here you'll see that the land is worth X amount and the building is worth another amount. And miscellaneous is like a garage, a detached garage or something like that will be worth here. Here it looks like they're just grouping it all together. So they're saying that this particular property is appraised at $17,500. Now I don't know if that's right. I don't know if that's what the going rate is for that neighborhood. But appraised and assessed are two different numbers. If you look in Georgia, I'll show you in Georgia here. So let me log out of this. If you log out of, if you go into the Fulton County, you'll be able to see what's going on as far as whether or not they, what the county, it's 40% in the state of, I think it's the state of Georgia. I know it's the county though, for sure, Fulton County. I need to find an address first. I don't have an address on my board. Oh, I know what I can do. $13.06. Is it 1301? Let me see. One second. So we'll do a real example. 3613. That's what it is. Close. 3613. All right. So here you can see, here's gives us some information. It gives our profile, who the owner is. Okay. And so, Jonathan, when I say get out and knock on the door, this is a house that I did that for. Like I drove all the way out here and I knocked on my man's door, right? Because I needed to get paid. And so you can see the sale price, what he purchased the property for. He bought it in August 2017 for $51,501. We offered him $50,000. Okay. Tax information. This is all stuff that you can utilize in your negotiations, right? So we got taxes here of $1,000. So this is a vacant house, and every year he has to come out of his pocket $1,000, right? So you can use this as a pain point to help him see why it's smart for him to sell and get this property out of his hands, so he doesn't have to keep paying $1,000 every single year plus insurance. Trying to show you where they show what they proved it on. Where's it at? Assessment notice. No, that was right here in profile. Value history, maybe. Here it is. All right. So as you can see here, the land is worth $27,400, and the building is $67,300 for a total of $94,700. So the reason why I want to show you this is because let's say you have a place where you can't find the value of the home. You're just stuck. You don't know what to do. You can go ahead. And start utilizing these numbers, because a lot of homeowners will base their selling price based off of what the county says is worth. And if you can do that, that's great. That's great, because I'm gonna show you here. It's gonna actually, this is perfect. It's gonna segue right into what I want to teach tonight. So we're gonna use this as a real life example. I mean, this is perfect. If my seller used this number, it would be phenomenal for me. Okay. So let's just use this number right here, 94.7. All right, we're gonna go to this whiteboard. Now, we as wholesalers, or people that are investing or trying to find investments for other individuals, our job is to make sure that they have enough profit margin, right? Too many things on my screen here. All right, so our job is to make sure that they have enough profit margin to make money, okay? So we want to make sure that we're taking out the right percentage, right? And we're going to go ahead and do this here. So we have a property that we just saw, right? It was $94,700. So this is called, is it a deal? And remind me, guys, if you guys in the chat, if we went through this, let me know. I teach a lot of classes here. So 94,700, all right? We're going to times this times 0.07, okay? This is really, if you move this decimal place over 2 spots, that's really 70%. What I'm saying is that I want to find out what 70% of 94.7 is. The reason why that's important is because that signifies my 30% potential profit, okay? Because we're investors, and whoever we're selling to, whoever's going to do the fix and flip is an investor, and they want to make a profit. If they don't make a profit, they're not going to do the deal, right? So we're going to take this 94,700 and we're going to say, listen, Mr. Seller, I need to just make sure that if I'm going to invest my money, I want at least 30% profit, because I'm not investing a little bit of change. I'm investing a good chunk of money. I need at least 30% gross profit. I'm not even putting all of that profit in my pocket, because it's gross. Gross profit is before some of the other expenses. So I need to make sure that I have that profit. So I can't buy it from you from 94.7 because I need to have profit in there, and I also need to repair it. So let's just figure this out. So to get my 30% profit, I'm going to take 94,700. You guys can follow along with me if you have your cell phone with a calculator or something. Type in 94,700 times 0.7. I'm not 0.07, 0.7. Forgive me. Let's erase this here. It's times 0.7. Okay, that is going to equal $66,290. Okay, now this right here equals what we call the investors all in. Okay, so they're all in for this amount. Okay, so that means they want to buy it from the buyer, I mean the seller, the person who owns the house. They're gonna have to pay me my fee, and they're gonna have to repair, and they want to be all in for this 66,290, so that they can put it on the open market and sell it for 94.7 and make that 30% profit. The difference between here and here is 30%. And the way we figure that math out is we take what we can sell it for times our 0.7, okay? So what I need to do now is let me just erase this. What I need to do now is I need to figure out how much it's going to cost for me to repair this. So I know how much it's going to cost for this one, and it would pretty much make this zero almost. But let's just say it only cost, let's say it costs $20,000 to repair. So I got to subtract $20,000 from this 6690, okay? This is my repairs, REP. So write these notes down, okay? So now we're at $46,290. $46,290. Now I got to subtract how much money I want to make. Let's say I want to make $10,000. Believe it or not, that's a zero. All right, which means I need to get under contract for $36,290. Okay, this is what we call our, and this is our fee as a wholesaler. And this bottom number is our MAO. Okay, so our maximum allowable offer. So where I want to get to right now is this. Do you think I'm starting my negotiations off at 36,290, which I love that number because it's not just a straight number, right? I don't like giving straight numbers, but I'm not starting my negotiations off at $36,290. Okay, I'm starting my negotiations off probably around 31,300, 31,700, something that's just not a straight 31,000 or 31.5. I like to give different numbers because it sounds like you put some thought into the actual repairs of it, right? So I'm starting this off at 30 plus to maybe $32,000. Why? Because no matter if it's a great deal or not, everybody wants to win. Everybody feels like they want to argue and win. So we'll start off at 31, and the homeowner will be thinking about it. He or she will be hemming and hawing. I don't know if I could do it for 30, 31.6. Can you do 35? Right? And my maximum allowable offer is 36,290. Can I do it for 35? Heck yeah, I can do it for 35. I just put $1,290 back into my pocket, right? So never want to start off with your maximum allowable offer as your first offer. Let them win. Let them feel like they're going to win by negotiating up to that 36,290. And if it's a good deal, and you can get it sold, maybe they say, oh, I can't do it for less than 38. And if you're willing to make $2,000 less, then do it for 38 and make $8,000 versus $10,000. Does that make sense? All right, let me stop sharing real quick. Okay. Anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions on that? No questions. Okay. Anybody have any questions, period? Because I've had some people ask questions in the course and I want to answer those questions in the group.
That property that I sent you earlier, like the video and all that. So
Correct.
I just went on the Fung County property record search thing or whatever, and I went to where it shows the values history. I guess the total is actually 134,800 for like the year of 2018.
Okay. So that's what they're saying that the county says it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's the reason why, and thanks for reminding me. So going back to this, we're going to go to your property real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, the county said this thing was worth 94,700. It's not. And it wouldn't, I'd have to put more than $20,000. This property would probably have to put about $55,000 to $60,000 into the property to repair it. But the ARV, this is what this would be. What's the ARV? The ARV on that property is 170. So you can see why I get excited when when homeowners start to use this, because this is what we call an anchoring point. What you just found out on your property of that 160 price you said, that's an anchoring point. So when we negotiate, what we want to do is we want to draw the line in the sand. And whatever the lowest number is, whatever the number that works the best in our favor is the one that we want to use. Make sense? So,
okay. So I'm gonna meet with him.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
No, so I'm saying if your 160 is lower than what it's really worth, then we want to make sure that they agree that we're starting off at 160 and start our negotiations from there.
Mm-hmm. All right. Because we both seen how the property looked and we knew how much it would take to renovate for rehab. I'm supposed to be meeting with him tomorrow to go look at 2 other properties as well. So since I'm seeing this now, I could kind of reopen the conversation on this property, because he did say he had a higher because after I did the ARV before I just seen this number, like the property was probably worth like 46,000 or something like that, and it couldn't be any more than that. And that kind of seemed like a reasonable price to me because the way the property looked and because there were no other homes around it that had been renovated or anything like that. So would I open this conversation back up with a higher price? Also have access to more investors since this conversation as well. So
okay, let's do this. Everything is ran off the ARV. So I got the MLS open while we're on the phone. So I'm gonna give you real MLS numbers.
Mm-hmm.
What's the address?
It is 1131 Mont Street. It's MONTREAT Street Avenue.
Right here.
Yes.
How many bedrooms is it?
I think they put 3, but it could be 2. It's like 3 in like an office room. It's like 2 in like an office room, so you could put 3.
How would you find that out?
It's actually right here. So just a second. Okay, 2 bedrooms.
2 bedrooms?
Yes,
Okay.
one
Yes.
full bath.
Definitely important. You know the square footage on it?
1,197.
Okay, so we got that. All right, so we're gonna do, if it's 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms, we're gonna do 2 to 3. Bath is 1
Mm-hmm.
1 to 2 bath. And I'm sorry, you said square footage is what?
1,197.
1197. So we're gonna do 900 to 1197. So basically 1200, 1100, 900 to 1500 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
So basically what I'm asking the computer to do is to figure out how many houses have sold, how many are active, contingency, contingency other, pending, or sold within the last 180 days, within a mile of the property, even though you're not going to go that far. Let me say that again. You are not going to take comps at a mile. That's too far out, especially in the city. And then the address that are between 2 to 3 bedrooms, 1 to 2 baths, and between 900 to 1,500 square feet. Out of that, you can see down here at the bottom, I have 81 matches. Okay, so click on that 81 matches, hit search. And maybe next week what we'll do is we'll have some time. If you guys could try as best as possible to get here on 9 o'clock. We can show you I can show you how to do this using Zillow, because if you don't have MLS, this right here doesn't do any good. So what I want to see is everything is under half a mile. Guys, we went to a property last Sunday, and this wholesaler gave me all these comps. The numbers look phenomenal. And I get there, and the house is trash. And as soon as I get to the neighborhood, it's in like the Pittsburgh area. I was like, I knew the ARV was not what he was saying. And I asked him on the phone, I said, where'd you get these comps from? He sent them to me. I said, how far away are they? They said 1.1 to 1.2 miles away. I almost cursed at him. So I'm like, bro, like, we can't use these. There could be a completely different neighborhood, right? So try to make sure your neighborhoods are comparable. And I'm not just talking to you, I'm just talking out loud, right? So first thing I want to see, and this is what you're going to do on Zillow too, so this will apply. We want to see if this house is renovated. I'm assuming at this price point it is, but I want to click on the picture. If I'm on Zillow, I want to look at it. Because what am I comparing it to? I'm comparing to the after repair value of the property.
So I do want to point something out.
Sure.
Zillow brought up like not even half of what's on this.
Oh yeah, but it's going to be based off of your filters. But yeah, Zillow is not going to have everything with MLS. That's why once we get far along, we're going to talk about ways of finding people who can use the MLS and what you can offer them so you can use it. This is mine. I'm a realtor here in Atlanta.
I actually was blessed with someone today to get comps for me. So
perfect. So we want to look at a couple different things here. If this was Zillow, we do the price per square foot model, and that works up until a certain price point. Okay. For most first-time homebuyer areas where most of your deals are going to come from, it's going to work. Price per square foot, you're going to be within $4,000 to $5,000 difference of the after repair value, meaning after I make it look like HGTV, it will still work. Where it starts to where they call the rule of diminishing return, basically, where it starts to kind of drift off is when the square footage really skyrockets and shoots up. When you're talking about properties that are 3,000 square foot, it doesn't completely pan out. But for stuff that are, in this normal 1,500 to 1,800 square foot range, it works good. So what I want you guys to think about, the only thing you need to know about is this renovated? And we can clearly look through the pictures and say yes. Did it actually sell? We can look up here. It actually sold. It sold for 300. Right? They listed it for 300. They sold for 300. So we need that number. So I'm gonna just write down 300. Right? And then the square footage, right? Which is 1,424. Right? So what I want you to do for this is I want you to take out your calculator and you're going to put in the price, because we want to find out what the price per square footage price per square foot is. I can't talk. So I want to find out what my price per square foot is. So if my price is $300 or 300,000, if that's what it sold for, I'm going to divide by 1,424. And what does that give me? 300 divided by 1,424.
210.
210
67.
dollars 67 cents, right? We just do the 210. There we go. All right. So every square foot of that house was worth 210 bucks. This square foot was worth 210. This square foot on the second floor in the master bedroom was worth 210, so on and so forth. You guys get the point. All we need to do now, if you don't have the MLS, if you're using the Zillow method, is to find at least three properties total that are within a half-mile radius that are renovated, that look like that one that we saw there, right? And then average it out. So let's say the next one sold for 275, right? So it sold for 275, and we're gonna do yours for real, okay? But I just want to make sure while I'm here to get. And let's say it was 1,206 square feet. So I'm going to take 275. Make sure you guys are doing this along with me so you understand this. 275 divided by 1,206. And that's going to give me $228 per square foot. And let's just say the last one sold for 287.5, right? But this one was 1,509 square feet. Okay, so that's going to obviously bring our average down because it sold for a little bit less than the top one, but it was also bigger. Divided by 1,509. And that means it sold at roughly $190 a square foot. Now all I'm going to do is add these three together. So I'm just going to just do the whole number, 210 plus 228 plus 190. Golly, 210 plus 228 plus 190. That's $628 total, right? And we have to find out the average. So again, we're going to divide this by however many properties we found. So we found 1, 2, and 3 properties. So if we found 4 properties, we would just keep adding them and divide it by 4. If we found 7 properties, if that's our detail we wanted to do, we'd add all 7 up and divide them by 3. And we're going to we divide, phone keep cutting off. 628 divided by 3 is 209. So the average for this particular neighborhood, if we were using this, would be $209.33 per square foot. And how big is your property again?
1,197.
So all I'm doing is 1,197, and I'm going to multiply my subject property's square footage times what the average square foot in that neighborhood is selling for. And what do I get?
250. Well, 255, 68. 01.
Yep. So 250. Well, yeah, we'll just do 250. Okay. So 250. So we're saying that this house, if we did this price per square foot model, and all these houses are renovated, if one of these houses are renovated, this doesn't count. All that's bad. But all of them have been renovated and sold within the last, on Zillow, you're going to use 6 months. On the MLS, you use 3 months, just because Zillow doesn't have as much data. So in the last 6 months on Zillow, then we're going to say, okay, yeah, this property should sell if I fix it up for 250. Okay, 250, and then that's where we do our times 0.7 minus repairs, right? And minus our fee, and then then we can figure out what our maximum allowable offer would be, MAO. All right, so let's stop this real quick. Let's go back to over here. So we're going to use this one here. I'm just going to pick 3. Hopefully, if my internet works, there we go. I want anything within a half-mile radius. This one's 0.4. I think that was the one we just looked at. This one's 0.4. Let's try to see if we can find something closer. 0.4, 0.4. That's all good. All right, so I just want to make sure that these are all renovated. If they're renovated, I'm going to count them. This one looks like it's renovated. Okay, it's probably not the best renovation, but we can use it. And I can use this, I can just put on your detective hat, right? If at 234,000 is a renovated property, I can pretty much guess that this one's going to be a renovated property as well, which it is, because it's in the same neighborhood. Because there's nobody going to pay $237,000 for a property that's not renovated in this neighborhood. In LA, you can have a crack house with no power, everything ripped off, and still go $500,000. So you just got to know your neighborhoods. I probably don't need to check on this. Come on now. Yep, renovated. All right. So all these are renovated. So now I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going, after this thing catches up, I'm going to do a quick CMA. And I'm saying, look, what do we say? And I was just guessing. But you look, see this price, 255. So out of all the average listings, you're running right around 255. Median price 250, pretty much right what we said. You got that?
Yes. So basically, I need to revisit this conversation.
What do you have it in a contract for? Or do you have it in a contract?
No, I don't have it under contract. We were trying to get he was trying to get a price set, like, because he had a couple of offers. I'm not sure what the other offers were, but it was higher than what we were talking about earlier. Because I didn't know about these comps because these comps weren't available, on Zillow. But now with this information, obviously the numbers have changed.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, we'll get into a whole Zillow way to set it up, make sure that your stuff is good to go. We'll do that next week. All right, anybody else? Did I answer your questions? We're good to go?
Yep, we're good. Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else have any other questions? Any questions? No questions? All right, cool. All right. If you guys do have any questions, you can put them into the Wealth Builder chat. And if that's it, we don't have anything else, then we're going to wrap this joint up. And you guys have a blessed evening, man. Love you guys. Be out there. Let's go and make some money.